Right, now this will tell us. And that's pretty conclusive. Still going, close. I think he got it down.
How strong is he?
Oh, welcome back to the Pick and Go podcast. It's me, Paul Whitey, here, and once again, I'm joined in studio by former All Black, Piri Wipu. Piri, welcome along.
Thanks, Paulie.
Yeah,
Good to be here.
yeah, just me and you today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Surly, very busy man. Very busy.
Oh, it's going to be
Or did
really interesting.
Northcote lose on the weekend?
Oh,
I don't know. Nah, we'll find out.
Oh, you're sad.
We'll find out when he gets back next week. But you were what, up in Rota Vegas on the weekend? How'd that go?
Girls finished fourth. Over out of, I think it might have been 20 teams, maybe, or 18 teams, something like that.
That was rugby league.
Rugby league, yep. For Ngā Hau e Whāwai Mata. But yeah, it was a pretty awesome tournament to be involved with. My second year now, and obviously only 2 grades this year. Last year there was about 5 grades going at once, and parking was horrendous. And but yeah, it was good head up for the girls this time around. Wasn't to be to make the top 2, but oh well, it's part and parcel of it.
So, what do you put the popularity down to? The increase in popularity? Is it? There's now I know this is a rugby union podcast, but there's now like a pathway. I guess in rugby union, both through the 7 circuit, and of course with our world champion Black Ferns, but also rugby league, there's a pathway. I guess if you're really looking forward, then the WNRL.
I think that's sort of been the case for a lot of courts. I know that there's not a lot going on for both rugby and league at a representative level at school with rugby or even league. So when there's an opportunity to play in tournaments like that, like the Māori tournament, a lot of these kids try and put their best foot forward so they can be selected and then go away and do their best with their team. So yeah, it's a bit of a struggle. I think there's only a couple of schools down here in Wellington that can put a team together, and that's through students of their school, whereas other schools have to try and pull a team together so that they can, and they're girls from other
schools.
Yeah, so it's a difficult one. So when there's a mini tournament like that with the New Zealand Māori Rugby League tournament, girls try and see if they can make that tournament, and I guess it's just an opportunity to run around and make tackles and run into people and apply their trade really, or work on their craft.
Well, we've got a wee bit of sad news. I just found out just as we were coming in the door. Former All Black Norm Hewitt's passed away. I don't think your career's he was just finishing as you were just beginning. Is that right? Or
yeah, pretty much. So I never really got to play side by side with Norm, which was thing. But I've always kept in touch with him, and obviously old boy of my school that we both went to Te Karate, played obviously Wellington and Hurricanes as well. So, and the All Blacks. So yeah, I guess it's sad, very sad news. Not just how here in New Zealand, but across the world, because he's a great man.
It's very, very sad news. Should we look at what happened on the weekend? And I guess, first of all, I've got a question for you. After watching the 2 tests against England, how do you rate this performance overall over the series by the All Blacks? I guess factoring in that it was Razor's first series in charge. I'd be interested to know. I guess if you gave them a mark out of 10, what would you give them? And overall, just how did you sort of rate their performance?
Maybe a 6.5. Just because there's parts of their game that they need to still work on. Line out, probably one of the biggest ones around that department. But I think they've still got learnings to go with the new coaching staff. So it's not a bad thing. It's good that they've managed to pull in 2 tough wins against England. They get an opportunity now to try and continue that. Maybe bleed a few newbies into this game against Fiji, but not too many. But I thought that the boys, in terms of how they wanted to play, how they needed to execute, I thought that they were good, but there's still room for improvement. So by me giving it 6.5 means that they've still got to work on things. If I give them a 8, it means they might think that they're.
I think that's a fair mark, 6.5. I was thinking 7 myself. I guess giving Scott Robertson a wee bit of sort of time to instill his game plan or how he wants the team to progress. Give him a wee bit of time to do that. Look, he's won his first 2 tests as All Black coach, and it was against a very, very good English side as well. But I think there are probably members of the public or fans of the All Blacks who think when teams come down here, we should be smashing them every single time. And because World Rugby is now professional, other countries have caught up, and some have gone past it at times as well. So, yeah, I thought it was a pass mark, but it'll be very, very interesting to see how the rest of this All Black season goes. Of course, they will meet England again at Twickenham towards the end of the year, and I'm sure the English will be very, very keen to get one over the All Blacks when they do meet then. But obviously there are a number of players that weren't available. I think Cam Roygard, he would have been the number 9 starter for this series. Will Jordan, he would have had the 15 on his back, I'm pretty sure. Toki Aho would have been, if not starting, in the 2 coming off the bench. So there were still a few missing pieces for Razor. So in my mind, I think a 7 is a fair. It was a pass without really
firing too many shots.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I guess you don't want to.
No, I guess he's still trying to get a feel of how your structures are as a coaching staff, just so that they can sort of make a few tweaks here just to make it a lot better. Obviously, breakdown is an area of concern, but I mean, with a bit of time they can get that right. I know it's sort of, they're just sort of nurturing their way through it and figuring all out collectively as a squad and as a management group. But yeah, I was pretty happy with the way that they performed. To have your first 2 tests against a top tier nation that's quality too, and to dig deep and obviously biggest concerns have been the slow starts, but they've always managed to crawl their way back into it. And I think applying a lot more pressure this time around, or even getting pressure put on them for 80 minutes, and then for them to actually take all that and then continue to have the confidence to throw the ball around. I mean, seeing how good Bodie was when he came on, injected a bit of energy into the team, into the attack, and then just all the momentum sort of shifts in favour of the All Blacks.
Let's go a wee bit deeper into that second test. And you mentioned Bodie, and we talk about impact players. That was an impact performance from Bodie. And I guess you can say the English team were probably tiring at that stage, so the gaps were starting to open up a wee bit more. but he did show his class, and I thought he was going to score that try where he kicked the ball and then kicked it again on the volley. He almost picked it up, and that would have been, we would have been watching replays of that try for years and years and years. But if you look at the team, I guess first of all, if we look at the team, and I guess first of all, the English defense, their up and in rush defense was very, very good, and it really stymied a lot of that All Black attack during the 2-match series. Did you see an improvement from the All Blacks against that defense?
I think it's just maybe just a little bit. I still think that with time, with them working on it collectively, like because it's such a big squad, you've got the opportunity to have one team that focuses on the opposition in terms of how they would run things. So, trying to put a lot of pressure defensively on their attack, and only for the boys to execute really well. Sometimes I thought that we probably got, hit too many times behind the advantage line, but I always see it as an opportunity when they do that. It's an opportunity for them to actually reassess and see things a lot better, especially if you set a ruck in the middle of the field. Not that you're trying to set a ruck, you're just trying to create opportunities so you can get over the advantage line. And then when you do create those opportunities, that's when you can suck the fence in and then try and push it a bit more to those edges, with the likes of your Bodies and your Talias, so to speak, on those edges that can be sort of freed up, have all the time in the world to take up all that space and create one-on-one opportunities. So, I thought, in terms of being able to sort of move away from what they learnt in that first test coming into the second test, it was just execution and clarity around understanding, okay, this is what their tendencies are and how we can execute under pressure, so that we can create opportunities on those edges.
One thing I watch, and I like Finley Christie. I don't think he had a good game. I like it when he's running a wee bit more, and perhaps because we weren't making it over that advantage line, that limited his opportunities. But I thought when Cortez Ratsima came on, I thought the ball was getting out a wee bit quicker, which then allowed the backs on the outside a wee bit more time and a wee bit more space to penetrate that English defense. And I just think back to Aaron Smith, and the ball was always crisp and always very, very accurate as well, which allowed the back line to then show their skills. If you look at that game from a halfback perspective, did you notice a bit of a difference when Ratsima came on? And of course he comes on, and England are getting a wee bit tired, so maybe that helps a bit. And towards the end of the match, we were making the advantage line a lot more than we were in that first half. But from a halfback perspective,
I guess as a backbone or energizer, that's what we were sort of known for, is to come on and inject a bit of energy into the boys, just to try and grow an extra leg, or not even that, just try and get them moving a bit faster, even though, we've got a few boys that have got fresh legs. Some of them are a bit tired, but those ones that are fresh, that's the opportunity for them to stand up, carry into a brick wall like the boys have been doing in the first half, and then on that, when they are doing that, they're getting those 1 or 2 meters past like they should be, and then that gives it that one opportunity where they actually back pedal, get the ball away, and there's that opportunity for those backs to execute on those edges. I think with Cortez coming on and probably just trying to speed the game up a bit more, although it was fast at the start of the game, but what you want to try and do is speed the game up even more, and that's what you try. What we've been pretty good in the past in terms of with our 7 or 8 substitutes, we always try to make sure that they're injecting a bit more pace into the game, speeding things up so that there's no opportunities for the defense to get reset, or for their structure and their game plan to sort of get set as well. So they're trying to take away those opportunities.
The kicking, especially the box kicking, do you think they were forced into slightly more box kicking than they wanted to just because they were struggling to get to the advantage line in that first half, or would that have been the game plan anyway?
I guess it's more not trying to play too much footy. If you're not making inroads, not getting over the advantage line or anything like that, try and turn the picture where you're putting them back under pressure. So whether it is trying to kick, put a contestable kick up against either the wing or the fullback, they come down, you tackle them, put them on the ground, and then you take that space. That's another sort of weapon that most teams have been trying to use over the years. And, if the defense is good like that and you play too much footy, you're actually going to be, your boys are going to be tired. They're going to be swearing at you. Don't worry, I've copped it a few times with the Hurricanes boys running too much footy, running the ball too much instead of kicking it down there.
Just kick it down.
Yeah, I had them yelling at me a few times, John Schroger. But it's trying to just change the picture so that you're just constantly going forward rather than going side to side. So when the defense is like that and you're not making inroads, the opportunity to actually change the picture, change what's happening, and try and make it a bit more, make a more momentum shift back in your favour is key. So you've got to have those plans ready to go.
The line out, you mentioned that before, and Itoje in particular really caused the All Blacks problems at line out time.
I guess he's like the modern day Matchfit, for England. I hated playing South Africa when he was just.
Oh, Victor.
Yeah, I mean, geez, when you think you've got it all sorted, and he just comes out of nowhere. Thank you, and I'm like, I thought you fellas worked on you right now. I was there. We worked on all these things, and he just, I don't know. It's just, when you've got someone that's world class at reading pictures, seeing opportunities, and then making it difficult to win any ball, or even just to disrupt it, so that your boys can fly up. That makes things a lot more difficult for your attack to actually get any opportunities.
I noticed in that first half that Artie was going to the front of the line out a number of times, and they were using him there. And I think the English sort of caught on to that quite quickly. And I think it changed a bit in the second half. So obviously the coaching team aren't afraid to make changes at half time from what they're actually seeing they may have had a game plan going in. They see, oh, well, this part of the game plan is not working. And then they decide, no, we'll make a change at half time.
I guess the beauty of when you got coaching staff and leaders in the forwards, there's always a line out leadership. And so once you've got through all your structures and you see where the problem is, you can actually make a few calls on the fly, which is the beauty of it. And so for them to move players around just so that they can win ball, because all you really want is just to win ball. So you try and figure out how you can win it. If it means you put Artie at the front just to get him up, win the ball, and you get rid of it. Those are some of the things that you've always got to make sure you have those in your back pocket, just so that when you want to get a stroke, get the boys over the advantage line, peel around the corner and do the exact same thing, you've got those safety nets ready to go, so that if it all fails, let's just win it at the front, or let's just win it on this option. And then when you do win it, then they start moving, then you can go back to doing things. It's a bit of chess going on that both teams try and do. One's trying to
chess with 6'10" pieces.
They're all probably like bloody queens and kings for high.
I thought D-Mac, he went okay in the second test. And obviously,
what's your take of is it just okay, or?
Well, I'd probably give him if it was out of 10, I'd probably give him a 6 out of 10. once again,
Do you know what his rating was that they gave him?
no, what did they give him?
They gave him like a 9.
Who gave him a 9?
Pretty sure that's what I read on the.
What? Sheepers creepers.
That's why I'm like, what are you on about, Paulie?
What are they on about?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway,
9 out of
keep
10.
going.
Well, look, once again, it's very, very hard, I guess, to display your skills as a first 5'8" when you're behind a pack that isn't quite making the advantage line as often as you would like. Add to the fact that the defense was up and in, so it limited your sort of options, and there was quite a bit of kicking as well. So once again, you're not getting as many opportunities as you might have hoped for. Maybe I'm marking him 6 out of 10 because we've been so blessed in the number 10 jersey for such a long, long time with Richie Mwanga, Bodie was there, Dan Carter. We've had some world-class first 5'8s, and maybe I'm measuring him against that as opposed to measuring him just how he went in the game.
I think you're measuring him off the fact that in Super Rugby, his forwards were getting him over the advantage line, and he was, you know,
he was on the front foot
from the get-go, as opposed to now that the defense is actually stopping our boys from getting over the advantage line. He's actually having to create opportunities or try and so you're not seeing those that free flowing style of footy that you usually see with him running around with all the space, whereas England are actually trying to take all that space away from the attack. So now it's trying to readjust to less time, less space. How do we manipulate them that way? So that's probably what you're used to seeing, as opposed to comparing him to Richie and that. Because if you look at him from Super, majority, every game that he's played, that pack was getting him over the advantage line. And he was able to throw the ball, run extra 20 meters than usual, whereas now it's quite compressed and everything's a lot more smaller in terms of space, time, and opportunity. So for him to actually start reacting a bit better is, I guess, practicing being under that type of pressure, whereas where you're not getting that good go forward ball, but you still got to be able to work off teams that are putting a lot more pressure on you. So that's probably where I would think you're going with that.
Okay.
As opposed to But
yeah. No. Okay. Well, I guess
I think the hardest part is when Will Jordan comes back, if he comes back.
Where does Bodie go?
Well,
or Perifeta?
We have the luxury that both Bodie and Perifeta have both played first 5'8". So there's that opportunity for them to actually have two first fives players. So with, whether we start D-Mac or Bodie or even Perifeta at 10, and you have the luxury of having those boys that can still slip into that role as a another first 5'8", and that sort of relieves a bit of stress on the shoulders of your running 10. Will Jordan's probably not that same sort of player, but what he does bring is a totally different package compared to those two boys. So it'll be interesting to see when he comes back from injury what role he'll have, whether it is going to be that 15 role or whether it's going to be that floating role of a 15 that can ball play as a 10 as well. Not saying that he can't do it, but if you look at the likes of the two starting for the starting 15 and the fullback that we've had, both of them have actually been first 5'8", so they know how to sort of run the cutter when the 10's not there. Or if the 10's on that side and he goes on and they go on this side, how to run the cutter there.
Right. There was some bad kicking in the game, but there was some very, very good kicking, and a lot of it was from Marcus Smith. And the two cross kicks that he put, one to, was it Faye Waboso for the first try, and then the second kick, and both of them were right on the money too. It was very, very hard to defend against. Who was the other one? Who scored the second try for England? Oh, was it Freeman? Anyway, Faye Waboso. both tries, beautiful kicks, beautiful. And I saw D-Mac tried one as well to Sevu Reece, and he didn't quite hit the mark. It was, I think he just kicked it a wee bit too far. And if it was back another metre or two, it probably would have fallen into Sevu Reece's hands. And although the fullback was coming across, because Sevu Reece is coming on at speed, he's got the ability to cut back if the kick had been right on the money. Now, it wasn't this time. And this is something that the All Blacks have done before. I know Bodie's done it quite a few times for the All Blacks. He might have done it a few times for the Hurricanes as well. So the English have turned that cross kick into a real weapon. Can you see us, first of all, utilizing that same sort of, I guess, kick on attack?
Yeah, Severu scored in the first test with that.
Oh, I did too.
Yeah. So it definitely is a weapon of theirs. It's more the comms that come out from the outside in. So as a 10, you're basically trying to see what's sort of in front of you as opposed to seeing what's out wide. And so you're banking on the guys on the outside of you to see that space and trying to get those comms in so that you're not sort of catching, turning, and then looking to kick. You're actually catching and kicking straight away. And if you look at how Smith did it, there was no catch, look, and then kick. He knew straight away that there was space, a man was free, and okay, cross kick it is, catch, kick straight away, and boom. So it's definitely something that they work on. It's more how it presents itself. So obviously breaching and getting to the edge like they did, and watching tendencies on defenses. If you sort of come from the middle of the field and chase honeypot towards where the ball's going to be, that's when you know straight away from the first test that they might have seen those pictures. As soon as they breach, they might be able to see, okay, that cross kick is on. We just need to make sure someone's all the way out there, and we execute really well. So they would have practiced that during, but it's just seeing the tendencies in there of the opposition and what they do when teams have sort of breached, gotten over well and truly over the advantage line, whether they stick in the close quarters and try and smash and bash again, or rather than that, get it straight out to the other side of the field with, rather than passing it, kick it over there, and hopefully that's someone's by themselves and can create a one-on-one and try and beat them
In and out. So
not us.
It's not us. See that? Yeah.
I saw that little shift.
So when you were playing, would you get like the comms down the back line from the outside in going?
What we do is we try and look beforehand. So during the week, you try and prep to see what it's like, how they set up defensively off set piece, and then what happens once the team breaches, how they sort of either rush in towards where the ruck is, or if they fall straight back. If they fall straight back, then you just got to try and punch in the middle of the field, or just outside of their heart defense or their ABC defenders. Try and punch in, because that's usually where your backs are going to be tackling at the edge of that, and then you try and flank them and catch them out on those sides. So it's usually just keep an eye on how they defend once they've breached, or how they defend if they're really tight on a 3 and have their winger sitting sort of back behind the defense system, and where their fullback sits, whether he's close to the post or a bit further out so that he can cover that. If he's sort of sitting closer to the post, that pass across the other side of the field with a kick, that's usually a well-trained weapon that some of us
Action. The scrum. Obviously, you've had a word with Tyrell since then. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you'd be pretty happy with.
Yeah, I think you would be.
I think that front row sort of been pretty dominant. A few, I guess, at the start of that first test, a free kick and a long arm, but then we can't see we don't know what pictures that referee sees.
No.
Only those boys can sort of react to it, and once they sort of got those pictures right after the first two, they were pretty sweet, but can't take much against the English team. They've got a pretty solid pack themselves. It just wasn't their day at scrum time. But obviously, when the line-out's not going so well, you make sure you go to
a scrum.
Go to a scrum just so that you can have a strong set piece to work off.
Plus, they had off the bench the Omua, Newell, Offa. They didn't really lose anything when those boys came on. That strength at scrum time remained. So it's. I'm not saying it's like the Springboks where they just bring on another six big bodies off the bench into the scrum, or 7 sometimes. I'm not saying it's like that, but I guess that the All Black camp must be very happy with how the tight fight. Well, certainly the front row. How the front row went. They were very, very good.
Yeah, but I guess my time with Chrono as well. His baby is the scrum, and trying to make sure that he gets everything right for the boys, so that I've spent a few sessions with the forwards and scrummaging, and I've been used as a guinea pig quite a few times, and I'm like,
what? You were pushing against them, or what?
Just they fold into each other and just work on warming up their shoulders and stuff like that. So just trying to help out.
Yeah,
but some of them just
take
trying
it
to help themselves.
just-
I'll get this little punk. He's barking at me for bloody 60 or 70 minutes in the game. I'll fix him up. Come to the scrum department, my mate. I'll tune you up. But just
who was the best at doing that?
my best mate, Namir. Every time he'd use me as a guinea pig, and I'm just like, I hate you. And he's just, every time we come up, he's just giggling away, and I'm like, it's not funny, bro. We're just here. I'm just here to help you warm up, man.
Oh, fantastic. Righty-ho. Looking back at the test, who was your player of the match? It must be D-Mac because you gave him a 9.
I told you it wasn't me.
Oh, just asking.
Ooh. Rather than one person, I'd rather give it to the front row.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, 2 weeks in a row, they've sort of been pretty dominant around the scrum. And then, like you said, the reserves had come on and continued the strong work that had been done before them by the starters. So yeah, I'd probably say the front row and even the energizers that came on.
Fair, yep. Oh, I know it's strange to make someone who comes off the bench a player of the match, but I thought Bodie had a huge effect on the outcome of that game, and he that English defence that looked almost impregnable for almost the whole of the first half, outside of Talia's try, and it was a wonderfully worked try too. He's a slippery guy. He's very, very hard to tackle. When he goes into contact, quite often the first tackler doesn't hold him.
No, he's usually beats the first of it.
He either beats him or bounces out, or
or he's got his arms available anyway.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, I thought Bodie had a huge impact on that game coming off the bench. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens later on. Okay, looking forward to this weekend. San Diego.
Yeah.
Did you play in San Diego?
No.
Did Ma go there?
He's over there.
Is he over there now?
Yeah. I saw he was at the Padres with 660.
Oh, what?
He's actually throwing the first pitch too, but I was cracking up because I seen the video. I was like, did you practice just so you could get it right? He reckons he was shitting himself.
So he threw out the first pitch at a Padres game.
Yeah. I was like,
What?
oh, I wish I could do that. I was like jealous as. I was like, bro, I've been playing softball since I was a kid, and then you probably didn't play softball. And then you get a chance
Just
to
go
throw the
straight
first
out there.
pitch of a bloody baseball game. Come on.
first pitch of the Padres game.
Yeah.
Far out.
I know. I was
That's awesome.
jealous and pissed off at the same time.
Because I saw a social post of 660 at the game, but I didn't see him in the.
Yeah, he was there.
Was he?
Yeah.
Jeepers creepers.
Oh, no.
Bloody hell. Right. San Diego. Well, they're not going to be playing at Petco Park, the Padres' home ground, but they are playing, I think, is it the San Diego Pirates or
It
in the.
is Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego.
Yeah. Major League Rugby. So, looking forward to that game. And as we record this on a Tuesday, teams haven't been named. What changes, if any, would you like to see in the All Blacks?
It's a tough one because you want to continue the momentum without making too many changes. But in saying that, like if there was going to be any changes and still get the same sort of outcome, it would be possibly start with a shuffle, and geez, I like to see Cortez have a crack at starting, but it might be just a little too early for him. But I mean, you never know. Razor might have his own thoughts on it, but yeah.
Does Hotham get a go off the bench, seeing as they brought him in? Or is he just there as a more get it?
Well, it'd be a bit shit if he came in knowing that he was fourth, and then you've got 2 and 3 batting out to be number 1. I know if that was me and 4 came in, I would be pissed off.
What the hell?
Yeah, because it doesn't show any trust towards the 2 boys that was there leading up to the first test. Obviously, Cortez got an opportunity when he got on, but I mean that sort of battle to try and become number 1 until the likes of TJ or even Roygaard when Roygaard comes back as well. It's a good little battle that they've got going at the moment.
Wallace Satiti? Does he get an opportunity coming to the, or someone like even an Ethan Blackadder?
It's a tough one. Oh, maybe not start
Off the bench?
potentially, yeah.
And in the back
But I know
line?
it'll be if you do start with Satiti, it'll be you'd have to have someone like Artie on the bench
Right.
because his
Utility?
utility. But in saying that, obviously, a few of those boys can cover a couple of positions, so they're pretty much stacked in terms of cover.
The midfield, Geordie and Rico started both tests. Can you see a case for either Anton starting or possibly Billy coming off the bench to give them, just a wee bit more of a taste of test football?
Well, you potentially could start Billy with Geordie because they've spent a bit of time together
In the Canes?
with that combination. So yeah, it'll be an interesting one to see what they go with. If I was going to give an opportunity for Billy to start, this would probably be the perfect one, just because the combination that he's had with Geordie in terms of the midfield, but he can also cover 12 as well if need be. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'll probably start with Billy with Geordie in the midfield.
And the back three, do you start Bodie in the 15 and maybe give someone like a Caleb Clark or another one?
Yeah, it's a difficult one because
You said
the back
you don't want to
three
make
is
too many. You don't want to make too
the
many
back
changes.
three is so good, and it doesn't matter who you put in there. You know that they're going to deliver, and it just depends on, I guess, injuries. So, yeah, could have given me a heads up on this one, Paulie. might have come a little bit more prepared with who I might have thought would have been a good backline and potential boys to actually get a start. But
You mean the email that I sent you?
yeah, kind of. Pretty sure that was the link. Link to the,
The link to
phone
the-
our phone call that
To the phone call to the
talk to Surly. Surly's not here this week, mate.
to the-
I'd leave at least one of those
starting.
wingers and maybe give Ngarawa a chance.
Okay. I guess if we have a look at the Fiji test, and the boys have got a market open already, and not surprisingly, the All Blacks are very, very warm favourites. They're $1.06 the last time I looked, and Fiji are $7. All Blacks are 25.5-point favourites. So what's that? That's 3 converted tries. That's around 3 converted tries and another try. That's quite a significant point start there. So what do you want to see from the All Blacks that would make you go, yeah, they've progressed from the 2-match series against England?
I guess it's a tough one. What, Fiji played Georgia?
Yep.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And beat them 21-12. I think the score was, but it's just whether Georgia gave the same sort of competitiveness that they got at World Cup, and Fiji may have pushed the boundaries a bit too much with their offloading and things like that. I just want them to execute the game plan and their structures, and then once they've sort of executed that, that they can once they know that they can do that, and it opens up, just to play footy. I know sometimes when teams do that, they just start throwing the ball around sort of willy-willy and not sticking to the game plan that's put them over the try line 2 or 3 times in a space of 10 or 12 minutes. They sort of see it as a free reign just to run it from everywhere sort of thing, as opposed to sticking to game plan structures and things like that. So I just want them to sort of execute. I don't say that. I want Fiji to actually,
Have a go?
Yeah, put a lot of pressure. Obviously, what they got really well last year was a bit of structure with a bit of flair.
That balance.
Yeah, exactly. That balance that we kind of had with the Cats. But I mean, just hopefully they have that balance. I know they've had a couple of weeks to sort of get themselves ready for this game, and it'll just be how they can execute that and still be able to be competitive for 80 minutes, still have that physicality, stay disciplined around defense line, and also around the ruck area. Pretty sure they can make things a lot difficult than they have in previous years against the All Blacks. So yeah, just execution and sticking to game plan and structures.
Right, San Diego. Look, I'm going to say it's going to be a fast track. This time of the year, usually it's not too bad down there in Southern Cal. You're checking the weather forecast for San Diego.
Do that right now, just as you're talking about it, Paulie.
It's going to be a beautiful day there.
Mara has said that it's freaking hot as over there.
It's so it'll be a Friday night game for them, and it's a Saturday afternoon here. I think it's 2:30 Saturday afternoon kickoff for us, which I'm fairly sure is that 7:30 their time. Anyway, what's the forecast say?
Oh, it's not helping me.
Oh, gee, crikey. Yeah,
I might have to do Google. San Diego.
San Diego, Friday, maximum of 24 degrees, minimum of 20. There is a 2% chance of rain.
Wait, that's their Friday, eh?
Yeah, their Friday.
24 degrees. It's still hot.
That's not bad.
That's hot.
and a light breeze picking up
Mate,
as the day progresses. It's going to be a great day for running rugby.
It is definitely going to be a great day for running rugby, and that's probably why the Fijians might throw the ball around because it's going to be a dry track. The ball's going to be pretty good. There's not going to be much sort of you never know. Might sweat it out a bit.
So as long as because the All Black front row, they showed they are the business against the English. This will be a big, big test for that Fijian scrum. If they can get some sort of parity or just, I guess, hold the All Black scrum in that set piece. If they can do that, then they'll have the ability to throw. Well, they're going to throw it around anyway, I would say, but they'll, much like when D-Mac's on the front foot, when he's got a forward pack that's going forward, it's a lot easier to show your skills. Can you see the Fijians keeping this one within that 25.5 point line that the bookies have set?
It'll be a tough one. Like it'll be a tough ask for them to be able to contain it. A team like that, but I mean, after the results from last year and how they've sort of been tracking at the moment, yeah, they played Georgia 2 weeks ago, but I mean, this is a sort of a step up from Georgia, and so everyone has to sort of be making sure that they get their jobs or their roles right within their structure, within their game plan, to give them even a fighting chance. So I want to say it's going to be a difficult one. If we had talked about this and been played over in Fiji, it might be a different story.
Right. Yeah, as we saw during Super Rugby.
Oh, exactly. And then obviously having the likes of the European-based Fijians and the availability. I still think this is going to be, it'll be a tough one. Like, still trying to figure out whether Fiji can actually do it, like hold them within 25 points.
Well, we're going to find out soon because you're going to have to put a few bets on. I probably shouldn't mention betting because bloody hell, you've done it again.
Let's go.
No.
Let's go. Come on.
Let's just wait.
Righty-ho. What do we got next?
Have you got a hunch?
I do actually. What? I was thinking about this.
Yeah.
The first time I was actually thinking about it, and so
you've got a hunch.
Yes, I've got a hunch.
Yeah.
We lost Cam Regard.
Yeah.
Number 9.
Yeah.
TJ Peter. Nada. Starting number 9.
Yeah. So far, it's not good. It's not a good hunch at the moment.
No. It's going to be a good one.
Okay.
All
right.
And I thinking because of the number 9.
Yeah.
Through my hunch, even though I was talking up Fiji, I think the boys will probably get 9 tries.
9 tries. I wonder if we're in for. We've got total points, total markets. Where's the total tries? Surely there's a total try. There it is. How many did you say?
9.
That's the line. 8.5. Over 8.5, paying $2. So take over 8.5 tries.
Yeah.
$2. That's your hunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quite like that.
First time ever, I was thinking, if that could actually happen. You lose your number 1 9 and then your second number 1 9, and then why not? Number 9 was just lighting up.
Bloody hell. I quite like that, actually.
Don't you go and bloody bet on it. No. What's your hunch this week, Paulie?
Well, I've been watching this show on telly, House of the Dragon. And funnily enough, there are dragons on it. And these dragons have wings. So I'm going to take both starting wingers to score a try in the match. So it won't be paying much, but both starting wingers to score a try.
It depends who. Oh, okay. So you just pick, because you don't know the team.
No.
You can't guess yet.
No,
gotcha. But so you're just picking both starting 9s.
Yeah, because you said there's going to be 9 tries. They won't be paying much, the wingers, but that's what I'm going to have. The 2 starting wingers to score a try. Right, let's get to some betting, and we'll look back at last week. I wish we weren't, but I'll get out of that. Oh, what? Oh, there we are. This computer. Surly, he's not with us. Last week, he had All Blacks over 30.5 points. Unfortunately, that didn't come in. They only scored 24. And then he had All Blacks to win by 13 or more, Australia to win by 13 or more, and South Africa to win by 1-12. None of those came in at all, even though they're in a multi. So he was down 100. He's now down 311.40 for the season. Myself, I was terrible. The boys actually put out that special market for me, any player to score a hat-trick. Well, Talia got 2. He wasn't that far away, but it was no good. And then I had over 6.5 tries.
What's a double paying?
What, someone to score a double?
Yeah.
Well, they haven't got that out yet.
Oh, okay.
Probably because they want to see the team's name first.
Roger.
But they'll have all sorts of try-scoring markets come out once the team's name. Now we'll get to the good news. Piri wanted Samoa into Tonga. Unfortunately, Tonga didn't.
Yep.
So that was a loss. And then after tipping out a draw at halftime in the first test, he goes, no, this time I want England to lead at halftime, All Blacks to win. What do you know? Unbelievable. With a try and a conversion right on halftime for England to go in.
I was watching it. I was watching it going, please make this happen. Just this one bet. And it come through.
That was paying $6.
I was more worried that I got the first half right. And that's why I was like, yes. And then I was like, let's just hope the second half is a bit better than the first half.
And then your other bet, which also was successful, you had All Blacks to win, Argentina to win, and Ireland to beat South Africa. And there was another one, had to wait for a drop kick on the last.
That actually, did you see that?
Yeah.
Do you reckon that was a penalty?
Oh, you mean like the obstruction or
the?
Usually, if the player if he drops a shoulder like that, or it's an obstruction. He didn't move, I don't think.
Well, they didn't show a good angle.
No, they didn't. Well, you think if it was a penalty, it's in South Africa, they'll show every angle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
I think surely they show everything. But from the angle they showed, it just looked, I think it's okay. Did you think it was?
Oh, no, because I couldn't, I was hoping that they'd show a different angle, but just to see what actually happened, rather than them sort of, saying that was a blatant obstruction.
Well,
whether someone milked it or not.
Well, that comes back to another decision in the All Black test right at the end there, where
with the obstruction.
Yes,
the trailer.
yeah. Do you think it was right?
Yeah, it was right call.
I do too. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, it's just like they come down from the receiving it in the line out. They hold off. The ball gets back to the given to the person at the back, and they start moving. And what they have to do is just get one person coming. That's truck and trailer too.
Yeah,
so it's the same scenario sort of thing.
Right. Anyway, back to the betting. You made just over $350.
Oh, no way, Paulie! No way!
And now you are leading on $799.95 for the season. I can't believe it.
We're kind of like in the middle of the season, so we still got
a long way to go.
Exactly,
it's a long way to go.
I mean, I was at like minus something, and then come back from the rafters like you did, even though the bets were from earlier myself.
Yeah, you went down to minus 106. Oh, yeah. Now back up to
that draw got me back in there.
Plus $799. Well, you might as well lead us off then for this week.
I haven't actually been thinking too much about it, actually. I'm going to take the hunch.
The hunch? How much?
I'll put 20 on the hunch.
20 on the hunch.
I'm also going to put Australia 1-12 and South Africa plus 13.
Wow, wait. Australia 1-12. They are playing Georgia. 1-12 is $3.80. Nice.
and then plus 13, those two in a multi, I'll make that $40 multi.
Yep. So 40 left.
And then for the AB's game, I am going to go with a prop to score a try. I put 40 on it.
Well, hold on. Which one? Well, we
Any
don't know.
Because we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. No, you have to say the tight head or you're going to have to go split your bet and go 20 on that prop and 20 on the other one. You got to tell. Well, you got to.
You know what?
You can say tight head,
I'll
lot,
put 40
loose head.
on the hooker.
How much?
Score.
40 on the hooker. Score a try.
A try.
Okay.
What's that paying? What's the hooker paying?
Well, the teams aren't named, so we don't know yet.
Okay.
So, but I'm guessing that the hooker will probably be. He might be a wee bit less than $2.
Really?
Yeah, they used to be hookers used to be a wee bit further out, but because of the 5-meter scrum, boom, maul, hooker comes around the back, drive over, try, that has swayed the odds quite significantly. So
Okay. No,
I'm pretty sure
tight head prop then.
Whoever-
40 on
40 on the tight head starting prop.
Yep.
To score a try.
Yep.
Alrighty. I'm going to go simple.
You say that every week.
Well, I'm going to try and go simple. I can't get number 9 out of my head now. So whoever starts at halfback, I'm going to have $50 on them to score the first try for the All Blacks. First try, $50, number 9. And then I'm going to have $50 on my hunch, both starting wingers to score a try. Easy
Nice.
peasy. Now, another thing I've seen on TV is this Matchfit stuff. Union v League. You want to tell us a wee bit about that?
Tell you about what exactly?
At Matchfit.
Oh, yep. It's going to air on the 24th of July.
Yeah.
And Clash of the Codes, the classic Clash of the Codes. League boys versus rugby boys.
So-
all us old retired footy players.
So Ted is
Ted's the coach of the Ted is the coach of the rugby boys, and then we've
shout out
got
to Ted.
Howard and Nico. He's a great man, and
Oh, Tawara. Yeah.
he's obviously the coach of the league boys, but yeah, obviously we're doing a fair bit of work together as a team. So the rugby boys together and the league boys, and there's about 9 things that we do as a team.
Yeah.
And part of it's running the Bronco.
Oh,
That's one of the challenges, running the Bronco. So the time of the Bronco.
don't tell me your time, because I did it as well.
The time, collectively weight loss, all the other activities that they've things. So I can't give too much away.
Okay, no, that's all right. Can you tell us a couple of the players on the league side and a couple on the union side?
A couple of the boys on the league side would be Ali Lautiri,
Oh yeah.
and Clinton Torby.
Oh, nice. I hope Ruben Wiki isn't one, because you guys will get smashed.
What are you gonna be like? Well, hang on, wait.
What?
See, part of it's actually weight loss. What's he losing?
Well, he's got nothing to lose.
So you can't lose. Rubes can't lose anyway.
No.
That guy is shredded already.
Exactly. Okay, so he doesn't qualify then.
And the rugby side coming back for another season is Pita Latini.
Oh yeah, he looks pretty fit. Well, he looked pretty fit last time.
Pretty much the same.
Yep.
So I put it down to them being desperate why they wanted me to go. Just get that bloody married in there. Nah. And I won't tell you who some of the new faces are, but Frank Bunce is another.
Oh yeah, he's done it before as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Including myself.
Right, and do we get to a finale? Do we get to a game at the end? Is there a game? Are you allowed to say?
There is a game at the end.
Is it a hybrid game or
Maybe?
Well, okay, all right, yeah, all right.
Can't
give it all away.
How's everyone? They're just going to wait for the last bloody episode just because you told them.
Well, we haven't told them anything.
Well, you kind of like trying to get as much info as you want out of it, so you can be like, look what we got.
I'm trying to help you guys out. There'll be another at least 3 viewers now that will tune in and watch it. Matchfit.
Hey, we still got another test to cover next week, so there's another opportunity for you to plug it.
Okay. I think that's it for now. Shout out to Surly, wherever he is. Hopefully he's back with us next week.
Hopefully it's not a Mad Monday carrying on to Tuesday.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's Tuesday's training.
Well, if it is, then he may not be back with us next week.
Maybe we should check the Auckland results.
Better. Yeah. We'll come back with him next week anyway. What do you got up to this? What are you going to get up to?
So our boys, obviously with
Wellington.
Wellington College, our season sort of we had planned to have 4 games in 7 days. So we asked White It Up if they could change the date when we came back from quad. They agreed, and so we're playing White It Up this Saturday at Wellington College, our first 15 boys. So we're sort of getting back into our Wellington comp again, and then nothing sort of too much. I'm just happy. The other week I was at a netball campaign for my girl.
Rugby league
just gone. Rugby league campaign for my girl. Home, not that it's a bad thing. Home coach first 15, but sort of don't have to sort of travel and have no sleep watching.
Taking it easy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Beauty.
What about yourself?
This weekend, very, very quiet.
Golf? There's much golf to be watched.
Oh, Open Championship, big time. Ryan Fox, of course, he's there. Daniel Hillier will be there, teeing it off at Royal Troon. Favorite at the moment, Scotty Scheffler, 550. But yeah, looking forward to it. And of course, because it's in the UK, it'll tee off, I think, 6 or 7 o'clock on Thursday night our time. So if you're a golf punter, don't forget to get your bets on before then, because when it's in the States, it's usually early on a Friday morning when tournaments kick off our time. So yeah, Thursday, not a lot of sleep this weekend for me.
Sleep during the day, wake up at night. More pork.
Oh. All righty, that's it. We'll catch you again next week on the Pick and Go.